Hi everyone, this is Dave, and what I've got here is the new for 2015 fourth generation Apple TV. And the big thing about the new Apple TV is of course the ability for it to run apps, and that includes of course games on the big screen TV. So without further ado, let's take a look around the box. There's very minimal information on the box really. It's plain black. We've got some details on the back to show that this is in fact the 64GB model. There is either a 32GB version or a 64GB version. Then the only other thing on the box is on the top here, and that shows you the Apple TV, of course in black. No Apple logos on the side of the box, which I was expecting. So let's get this unboxed and have a look. Very excited about this, purely because of the apps, but also because the Apple TV is a great device for experiencing movies and other services of course. We've always been limited to the amount of services that are available in the UK compared to the US, but it is still a good device. I must admit I was a little bit disappointed that this time around it wasn't 4K, but still, we can't have everything. So let's get this unboxed and have a look what we've got inside. Wow, there it is. So primarily the same footprint as the previous Apple TV, but of course this time round it's a lot thicker, but definitely the same size when you're looking at it top down. And then we've got the new remote control, which we'll have a better look at in a short while. And then in this section here we have got the power cable. Now I'm in the UK, so this is a 3-pin UK power cable, and then on the other end of the cable we have got a figure 8 type adapter. In the next section we've got a let's get started guide. This is just going to guide us around the ports and connections on the Apple TV, and also how to use the remote, which now of course supports Siri and voice commands. We've got a couple of Apple stickers and some Apple TV information. Now we've also got a USB to Lightning cable. This seems to be the way Apple are going forwards with all of their devices. We saw it with their new Magic Keyboard and also the Magic Trackpad 2, which are rechargeable. This is a USB to Lightning connector, and this is used to actually recharge the internal battery in the remote. So let's have a look at the remote control, because this is quite new as well. Let's peel this covering off. It's much more substantial than the previous remote control. We can see on the back here we've got the Apple logo. We've also got the little microphone on the back as well, which is going to pick up your voice commands. Along the bottom edge we've got that Lightning connector for recharging, and then on the top of the remote we've got a menu button. We've also got what looks like a screen or screen sharing button perhaps. I'm not really sure what that is at this stage, because this is a first unboxing for me and I haven't even watched any of the tutorial videos about the Apple TV yet. We've also got the microphone button, and that's going to make the Siri command come up so that you can actually make your voice commands. We've also got play, pause, volume up and down. This area here is touch sensitive, so you can use this to control a cursor. And then we've also got what looks like another microphone on the top, so maybe that's a secondary mic. And then of course on the top edge here we've got the infrared port. So that's the little remote control, and it feels very, very nice. Of course, metal on the back. This area here where we've got this touch sensitive control also has a little clicky button, so you can use this to actually make selections as well. And in fact I was supporting it underneath, but you don't need to do that. If you're holding it like this or like this, you can still use that button. And in fact if I hold it up closer to the microphone, you can actually hear it clicking away. So really nice little remote control. What else have we got inside the box? Well, of course, the main star of the show is, of course, the Apple TV itself. So let's remove this packaging and we have a closer look. Now, after we've removed that cellophane wrapper, we have also got some additional packaging on here. We've got this black piece of plastic, which is covering the Apple logo. Very, very cool. I love the packaging. And this is like a rubberized base, so very nice. And the Apple logo is actually polished plastic. And then we've got some more packaging to protect the sides. And again, this just peels off very, very nicely. And this reveals the glossy finish on the sides of the Apple TV. On the back, we have, of course, got the ports. Now, port-wise, it's very minimal. We've got the input here for the actual power connector. We've also got the input for the HDMI port. So this is USB-C. We've also got the Ethernet port as well. Now, this has got Wi-Fi built in, so we can, of course, actually connect this to our network for a more robust connection. But if you've got a good Wi-Fi connection in the room that you're going to put your Apple TV in, then you can connect wirelessly as well. I know with my current Apple TV, I've got that connected wirelessly. I haven't got it hardwired in. And then around the edges, it's completely blank. You can see completely blank around the front edge, and of course on the side. And then on the top, it simply says Apple TV. And that's pretty much it. Now, my plan is to actually test this, to test what's available in the UK, what sort of services are available, and of course, test the applications and games that are available. Apple have implemented a very good way of keeping the initial game download very, very small, and then additional levels are downloaded as you need them. Any unwanted files are actually deleted from the internal memory. So it's not exactly streaming the game, it's just keeping the very minimal amount of data on the internal storage on the Apple TV. Now, what Apple TV is right for you? This is the 4th generation. You can still purchase the previous generation, which does everything that this does apart from supporting applications. And of course, it doesn't come with the new remote control. You also don't get as much memory inside the Apple TV on the previous generation. This new 4th generation one, you can choose between 32 gigabytes, which is fine if you plan to just do mainly streaming of movies. If you plan to actually play any games on it, then Apple do suggest you go for the higher capacity 64 gigabyte version, which is the one I've got here. It does also support gaming controllers. I am expecting one of those into the studio very soon, and I will be bringing you a video about that as well. So that's it for this video. This is the new 4th generation Apple TV. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe, and I'll see you all in another video very soon.